Thank you all so much for being here. And as folks trickle in, we're going to get started. Just welcome to everyone to our Summer Demo Day 2025. We are just so grateful, truly, that you're here with us this morning to truly celebrate a group of extraordinary young people. These young fellows who will be showcasing their civic tech hackathon projects they've spent the last few weeks building with so much heart, skill, and vision, and truly some of the most incredible software engineers and leaders that this industry has ever seen before. Before we dive in, I would love to introduce myself and share a little bit about who we are. My name is Maya Bhattacharjee Marcantonio, and I'm the co-founder and chief program officer of the Marcy Lab School. At Marcy, our mission is simple but bold. We hope to create a college alternative that launches brilliant, ambitious young adults like the fellows you'll meet today, many of whom have been systematically overlooked, into lives of their highest purpose and in high growth careers in tech. And over the last 12 months, our fellows have driven deep, just as they do every year, into the craft of software engineering, while also doing the inner work of becoming the kinds of leaders, teammates, and change makers the world needs most. We're so confident that in the state of this world, our fellows are needed more than ever. To help tell the story of our mission, we've invited someone who embodies it deeply. Please join me in welcoming Isaiah Zay Hickerson, a proud member of our 2023 cohort who graduated this fall. Zay's journey through Marcy is a testament to the power and persistence of purpose and possibility. And we're so excited for you to hear his story. And as you hear his story, hear our own.
Thank you for that, Maya. Hi, everyone. My name is Isaiah Hickerson, and I'm honored to be here today as an alum of the Marcy Lab School. Before Marcy, I was living out in LA, modeling for some of my favorite brands like Puma and Foot Locker. And I even gained some experience in sales working for a startup company called VinFast that was from Vietnam. On the outside, it probably looked like I was living a dream, working with top names, meeting incredible people, and soaking in all these new experiences. But the truth is, I was just a young guy chasing a vision of success without fully understanding what my success looked like. I had so much ambition and drive, but there was no real direction. I didn't know where I was going. Only thing that I knew is that I didn't want to stay where I was at. That period taught me a lot. I learned how to network, how to show up professionally, how to handle rejection, and how to bet on myself. I also learned that passion isn't just something that happens. It's something you discover by staying curious and taking action as well. Eventually, I felt the need to reset, so I moved to Miami to get away from all the noise and pressure of LA, and I just needed space to think. While I was out there, I had this vivid dream that I was coding. It was so random, but it stuck with me. So the next morning, I followed that spark. I started teaching myself how to code, and at first, it was just a hobby, something fun to explore. But slowly, it became more than that. It felt like I had finally found something that made sense to me. And then I discovered Marcy. Marcy didn't just give me the technical skills, it gave me a sense of purpose and belonging. It showed me that I could take all of those past experiences, sales, modeling, moving across states, figuring things out the hard way, and use them. I learned how to communicate with confidence, how to lead with empathy, and how to navigate not just code, but the professional world. Today, I have a career I'm proud of at one of the most innovative companies in the world. That company is Salesforce. I'm learning every day, growing every day, and helping solve real problems for real people. But I still carry all of those early chapters with me. They were not wrong turns. They were the necessary steps that brought me here today. I truly believe none of this would have happened without Marcy. This community didn't just teach me technology, it taught me how to dream again. And more importantly, it taught me how to execute. So to the employers in the room, invest in talent that doesn't always follow the traditional path. Because I promise, when given the opportunity, we show up, we deliver, we lead. To the donors of Marcy, your support isn't just funding a program, it's changing lives. It changed mine. Thank you. And to the students thinking of attending Marcy, if you're wondering if this is for you, let me be the first to say, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to put in work, Marcy will meet you there. It is one of the best decisions I have ever made in my entire life. I can't stress that enough. And to the fellows in the room, keep showing up, keep leaning in, because you have no idea how far this journey will take you. I'm proof of that. Thank you.
Thanks, Isaiah, for sharing your story. I think we can give Isaiah a virtual round of applause in the chat. We're so proud to have you as a member of our community. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy Clark, and I serve as the program manager for the Fall 2024 Hanat cohort. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our fellow Spotlight speaker to you. This is someone who, to all of us, represents what it means to be a Marcy Fellow. This year, this fellow has been the epitome of all of our Marcy pillars of character: bold determination, unwavering discipline, ingenious curiosity, tough love, and collective responsibility. Please join me in giving a virtual round of applause to Anna Almonte.
Hi everyone, my name is Aniele, but most people at Marcy know me as Anna. I was born in the Dominican Republic but raised in Brooklyn, New York. I come from a hardworking immigrant family, and from a young age, I took on adult responsibilities, translating things like medical forms, lease agreements, and school documents, and helping my parents navigate unfamiliar systems. It wasn't always easy, but it taught me how to adapt quickly, stay calm under pressure, and solve problems with whatever I had. One of my first real connections to tech came through my dad. He was always fascinated by gadgets, but didn't always know how they worked, so I became his go-to tech helper. Whether it was setting up devices or troubleshooting problems, I figured it out. That's when I realized how much I enjoyed problem solving and teaching myself new things. Before Marcy, I started college during the pandemic, and like many others, I struggled. Everything felt virtual, disconnected, and I had a hard time finding my footing. It felt like no one really saw me, and I started questioning whether I was on the right path. During that time, what kept me going was my best friend. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Her support grounded me through the darkest moments and reminded me that I wasn't alone, that I still had something to fight for. I first heard about the Marcy Lab School in the most unexpected way. I was working a shift with someone and we ended up talking the entire time. He had just gotten accepted into Marcy and was telling me all about it, how it focused on tech, community, and real growth. He encouraged me to apply, and that one conversation changed everything. Finding Marcy felt like the reset I didn't even know I needed. For the first time, I had the space to just be a student, to grow, learn, and feel part of something real, from coding workshops to creative projects to just bonding with other fellows. I found a community that's incredibly welcoming, supportive, and inspiring. The people here have become lifelong friends. Just having access to community events and little moments of joy helped me recharge and come back to my work with fresh energy. The culture at Marcy helped me fall in love with learning again and reminded me that I'm capable of more than I ever thought. Looking ahead, I see myself stepping into the tech world as a full stack developer, confident and well equipped, thanks to the professors and mentors who have poured into me this year. Their guidance, paired with everything I've learned, has helped me turn my story into something powerful. I'm excited to build tools that make life easier for families like mine, people navigating systems without the help they deserve. Marcy didn't just teach me how to code. It reminded me why I wanted to create in the first place. And I am just getting started. Thank you.
So thank you, Anna. And we're equally as excited for you and all the things that are ahead. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ruben Agbana, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of the Marcy Lab School. And again, we want to thank each and every one of you for being here in community with us to celebrate our Fall 24 Fellows. In just a few minutes, we're going to open up breakout rooms so you can see some of these amazing projects that they've been working on for the past 5 weeks. And if you leave this space inspired today, and we bet that you will, we want to invite you to partner with the Marcy Lab School. We believe that each person in this room can play a part in supporting our work. Now, some of the names that you see on this screen, they're current partners of the Marcy Lab School, and we were connected to them by friends, by colleagues, by people who joined in our community and were willing to make an introduction. We want you to know that your support means helping someone get their start in the tech sector and providing opportunities for highly skilled, high potential young adults in our program. And there are a ton of benefits that companies reap by working with the Marcy Lab School. First and foremost, access to incredibly talented and skilled engineers who are ready to join your teams and add value today. Secondly, fast, thoughtful, custom recruiting timelines so that we can work with you and your companies to get you the support that you need. And lastly, tailored programming. We want to be attuned to what your company needs in terms of onboarding and work with you to create something that makes the most sense for our fellows and for you. Our partnerships team looks forward to working with you. And so now it's my pleasure to transition us into our demo day presentations. Each year, we ask our cohort to give themselves a name that embodies their values. The fall 2024 cohort chose the name Hanat. It means a promise of the future in a Sudanese dialect of the Arabic language. This Hanat cohort has spent the last 9 months mastering our technical and leadership development curriculum. And in culmination, has spent the last 5 weeks building a project that brings it all together. Every student in this room was given one simple task: to build an app that solves a problem in their community. So we thank you for being with us today. And I'm excited to send you all off into breakout rooms so that you can see these projects for yourselves. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jordy. My pronouns are he, him. My family and I are from Ecuador, and I'm currently living in the Bronx. And I worked as a developer on the Copo app team, where I was primarily responsible for the backend development.
Hello, my name is Mario Crespo. I'm originally from the Philippines and I'm currently based in New Jersey. I serve as a full stack developer with a strong focus on the front end development.
Hi, everyone. My name is Azim, and my pronouns are he, him. My family and I are from Turkmenistan, and I currently live in Midwood. I'm the project manager and scrum master in the Copa team, and I work primarily on the front end. This is Team Copa, and we build Copa app. When Jordy was a kid, his dog, Copa, went missing. He spent days putting up flyers around the neighborhood, hoping that someone would find him. Sadly, Copa was never found. That experience became the inspiration behind our app. We dedicate our work to the memory of Copa and to every pet still waiting to find their way back home. Each year, over 10 million pets go missing in the United States, and most are never found. Copa app is a neighborhood-based web application designed to change that. It helps communities to come together to report, find, and reunite lost pets faster and more effectively. So here are the technologies that we used to build our application. We used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React for the front end. For the back end, we used Connects, Node, and PostgreSQL for database management. We also implemented Amazon S3 bucket for image uploads for the back end. Now I'll pass it to Jordy to explain our database design.
Thank you, Asim. To manage our data, we use the Postgres SQL database where we have 5 main tables. The users table stores account information like username, email, password, and the profile picture. The post table is where users report missing pets. Each post includes details like the pet's name, the breed, characteristics, and the owner's contact information. The comments table allows users to respond to posts and share updates or site needs about the missing pet. Lastly, we also have 2 other tables, post images and comment images table, to store images tied to posts and comments separately. In terms of relationships, one user can have many posts and comments, one post can have many comments and images, and one comment can also have multiple images. We used Express to build out full CRUD functionality for each table, so users can create, read, update, and delete any of these entities. Now I'm going to pass it on to Mario to talk about our front-end design.
Thanks, Jordy. So the feed retrieves all the reports by querying the post table, which stores the main post information, and the post images table, which holds any images uploaded to the post. When the user submits a report, the text data is saved to the post table, and any images that are stored in the post images table maintain a clean relationship with the content and the visuals. This structure keeps the feed dynamic, organized, and easy to navigate. And now let's watch a demo walkthrough of the Copo app.
Hello, everyone. Today we're in Copa app because my friend's dog went missing yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new report. Name is Max. Last pet type is dogs. Last seen location. And include Fort Greene Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Color black. He was around 35 pounds. But on the weight, height is 15 inches. I'm going to upload a picture of Max. All right, I'll put my contact information and include some additional details about Max. And I'm gonna click submit. You can go to my reports and see that the report has been created. And actually, I want to go back to the feed and see if there's any other dogs or pets missing in my neighborhood. Click Queens and filter by lost. Milo, last seen Flushing Meadows, Queens. I might have seen this dog yesterday when I was jogging at the park. Let's save this post and comment on this. Hi there. Might have seen your dog at the park yesterday. Click submit. Oh, I forgot to include a picture. Let's edit this comment and upload an image. Save changes. Here you go. You can see my comment. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you for that demo, Copo. I will kick off our Q&A session for this group by asking each member, what is a feature that you made significant contributions to, and what did you learn from it? I'll kick us off with Mario.
Hello. So I created a bookmark feature where you can save and find specific posts that you wish for. This is important in case anyone wants to keep track of and stay updated on a specific pet status or updates. For implementation, I created a front end and back end for everything that the bookmarks needed to manage. And for I'd say key takeaways is that I learned I should be more transparent with my teammates and be more willing to ask for help when I come across any issues or problems instead of trying to do it all myself.
And Jordy?
For me, I will say that one of my main contributions was implementing the image upload feature, which basically allows users to upload and share pictures of their missing pets. We thought that this was an incredibly important feature, especially for our application, so that users who come across that pet can easily identify it and identify any possible sightings of that pet. In terms of what I learned, I would say that I learned that reading documentation is very important, especially when dealing with new technologies. And it made the implementation process and the learning process a whole lot easier.
So I built the report, I built the editable report details page where users can update or delete their posts. This involved creating a dynamic and user-friendly interface that allowed users to make changes seamlessly. I used React to manage the UI state and render editable forms. To handle image uploads and updated input fields, I used the Form Data API, which made it easier to package everything, including images, into a single request. And I connected the page to the backend so that when a user updates or deletes a report, those changes are reflected and saved in the database in real time. One of the key takeaways from this task was challenge of fetching and rendering images from the form data. It pushed me to improve my communication with the backend team and deepen my understanding how files were being stored and served. That collaboration was essential in getting everything to work smoothly.
Awesome. Thank you, Copo. I see one question in the chat that says, how does it work if a pet is chipped? Jordy, would you like to take on that question?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I have a follow-up question to that question. I just want to like pinpoint exactly what do you mean by like the pet is chipped. Like, do you want us to explain how we will handle a situation like that? Okay. So basically, we actually the way we would probably handle like a chipped pet is the app mainly works by a person reporting the pet that they have lost. So if let's say somebody finds a pet that is chipped, uh, then that person could potentially identify. I mean, it depends if the pet has the dog has a collar as well. But to be completely honest, we didn't really consider it in this scenario for this application. I think that will be probably like a different use case or a different something we can implement in the future.
Would you be able to update the location of a pet if it's found somewhere else?
Yes, yeah, you can edit the post as well.
Makes sense. Awesome, Zim. I think that's all. Jordy, I think that's all the time that we have for this group. I will move us on into the next group, which is Project Disconnect.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Correa, though I go by Zay. I use he, him pronouns, and I come from a diverse background with my family having roots in Puerto Rico, Colombia, Argentina, and Portugal. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, and I worked as a full stack developer and UI/UX designer on Disconnect.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Marshall. I go by the pronouns of she, her. My family is from Grenada, and I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a full stack developer, and I work primarily on the front end for this project.
Hi, my name is Aviante Williams. My pronouns are he, him. My family and I are from Chicago, Illinois, and I worked as a full stack developer on this project.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Louis Sabru. My pronouns are he, him. My family is from the Dominican Republic, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I served as the I served as the project manager for this team, and we're really excited to talk to you about our project Disconnect. As software engineers, we understand that technology can be an amazing tool for productivity, but in the same vein, screen overuse has become an alarming issue. Research shows that an average adult spends 3.5 hours on their phones alone, and prolonged screen exposure comes with real consequences affecting our mental health, physical health, and leading to things like difficulty focusing, lack of sleep, or even anxiety and depression. This is why we created Disconnect. Most wellness apps are limited in scope, and changing habits can be difficult if you have a hard time staying consistent. Our app introduces a social spin on wellness to help encourage you to stay on track and meet the goals that you set for yourself. To speak on what we use to build our app, I'll hand it over to Aviante.
The technology stack that we used to create Disconnect was the Perm stack, and that consists of Postgres, Express, React, Node.js. Outside of our main stack, we use libraries like chart.js for visualizing your data and bcrypt for securing your passwords. And now I'll pass it to Zay to explain our backend.
Thank you, Aviante. In our project, we built a system where logged users can interact with different types of data tracked through multiple interconnected tables. As you see, we have 5. To follow our user journey, the user table is where the credentials are stored, and every action done in the app is tied to the user table through the user's ID. Once the user logs in, they can log their screen time, and once that is made, it is timestamped with the current date and it's stored in the logs table. Users can update the entry column later, which is initially null with a patch request. The goals table, users can create a goal, which is tied to the current date's log ID, and the goal consists of the time they would like to get their screen time down to, and a description of what they would like to do in place of the time they just read. Users are also able to create posts and favorite posts, which is connected to the post ID. And now I will pass you on to Taylor to break down the front end.
Oh, thank you, Zay. So, for the front end, we present the dashboard, the feed, and the user's profile page. On the left is the dashboard. Here, users are able to input their screen time goals and descriptions. Users are also provided with the stats charts where they can see their historical time and goal data, their historical screen time and goal data. Users can also write a private journal entry to reflect on their data. Lastly, the pen icon under the stats chart gives users access to create public posts. On the right side is the feed page. On this page, users are able to see the reflections shared by others as well as their own. And users are also able to interact with posts by sending flowers to two reflections that they resonate with. And um, lastly, we have our users profile page. This page allows users to see the post that they have created, as well as posts that they have sent flowers to. So thank you. Our demo should be next.
I've been spending way too much time on my phone lately, and I found this app called Disconnect. I never really looked at the Learn More button, so I'll take a quick look. I think this is just the research that went into building the project. This looks like a good team. Let me sign up. As a matter of fact, I think I already have a login. Just input my screen time today, and it looks like I spent 7 hours on my phone yesterday. Here, I can see my weekly screen time, and I think today my goal is to be about 5 hours. And with the time I saved, I want to practice my pushies, because why not? I went for a walk yesterday. I thought it was refreshing, so I might find time to do it again today. And I think I'll make my first post today. And post. Now with my remaining time on my app, I think I'll just explore. These are some relatable posts. I'll favorite them. I find this one funny. And if we go to my user page, we can see my posts and my favorites. And the thing I like about this app is it keeps me accountable. When this timer hits 0, it logs me out and takes me back to the home page, and it prompts me to watch out for my screen time and to enjoy my day. Rather than let it go to 0, I think I'll just log out myself. Cool.
Thank you, Disconnect, for that really great demo. I will
I've been spending way too much time on my phone.
Q&A portion by asking every member of the group the same question. What is a feature that you made significant contributions to, and what did you learn from it? I'll kick us off with Zay.
Yeah, one of my major contributions would definitely be the full stack like log functionality. Basically, it's connected to the current date. So after you log in for the day, you won't see that a modal will pop up again until you can log in the next day. Um, so to implement that, I basically just use JavaScript and Express to create a log model, sorry. And then the core logic and endpoints to connect to the front end where I made the modal and forms. Um, and what I took away from that was communication mostly. I get really like tunnel visioned and like a horse with blinders when I'm working on certain features. So like breaking out of that and then being able to communicate with my team so they can understand like the features and like what they actually do was very important to make sure we have like a streamlined experience working on the project.
Thank you, Zay. Pass it to Taylor.
So since Disconnect is meant to be a platform where users can reflect on how much time they're spending on their screens, to help with this, I built a stats features chart where users can see their previous goals and screen time data. Yes, to implement this, I utilized Chart.js to help display user screen time and their correlated goals. A challenge that I did face with this was fetching the user's data. The original endpoint limited access to all of the user's data. So I just had to fix that and update the modal so that it would properly render all of the data that was needed for the front end.
Thank you, Taylor. Aviante?
The biggest contribution I had to Disconnect was creating the components that allow you submit your goals, view your post stats in your favorite post. And I use React to create those components and pull the data from the back end using the Express endpoints. And my biggest takeaway was just always have great communication because when working on the front end and pulling that data, I heavily rely on the back end and the back end developers. So we got to be like having great communication for me to get that data and the right data.
Thank you, Aviante. Lewis?
Yeah, so my major contribution to Disconnect were the posts and favorites features, or the flower feature, which were the community-based features that I feel like differentiate our app from other wellness apps. My work primarily focused on the back end, so I was designing and implementing the endpoints and controller logic for our Express server, and then tying that into the data that we pass through into our PostSQL database. The challenge is really testing and ensuring that all the backend routes were working properly. And to help me with that challenge, I used Postman to make sure that all the endpoints were returning all the important data so that our front end team could then use that and make sure that our app was working properly. So just like my teammate said, communication is really key for working on full stack development teams, and I'm really appreciative of my team. So thank you.
Thank you, Louis. That's all the time that we have for Disconnect. Please drop some love in the chat for them and any additional questions, and they will answer in the chat. I will transition into the next project, which is Project Patch.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Noel, and my pronouns are he, him. My family is from Trinidad and Tobago, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And I am the backend developer for Patch.
Hello, my name is Caleb Johnson. My pronouns are he, him. My family's from Jamaica, and I was born and raised here in Brooklyn, New York, which is where I'm currently located. I'm a front-end developer for Patch.
Hello, my name is Xavier Herzog. My pronouns are he, him. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, which is where I still currently live, and I also was a front-end developer for Patch.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fernando Martinez, and I was born in Hamilton Heights, New York, and grew up in Harlem. My family is from the Dominican Republic, and I served as a full stack developer and project manager for Patch. Together, we built Patch, a web platform that empowers people, especially those with chronic conditions, to track symptoms, pain, medications, all in one easy to use space. Why does this matter? Because 12 million Americans are misdiagnosed each year. That's 1 in 20 adults. A major cause of poor communication. A major cause is poor communication during rush doctor visits. Patch helps close the gap by making symptom tracking consistent, visual, and personalized. Patch empowers users to advocate for themselves and helps ensure they're seen, heard, and accurately cared for. I'll pass it on to Caleb to go over our tech stack.
These are technologies that we use to build Patch. For the front end, we used React, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. On the back end, we use Node.js, Postgres, and Express to get a fast, flexible API. This full stacks up ensures a smooth user experience while securely managing sensitive health data. And now Fernando will showcase to you all the database design for this project.
To manage the data for this project, we used a Postgres database with the following tables. The user table stores all registered users. The symptom logs table tracks symptoms that users log, including date, pain type, pain location, and pain level. The insulin logs table tracks insulin levels for users managing diabetes, along with timestamps and notes. The medications table stores a library of medication names, dosages, and frequencies. User medications is a join table that links users to specific medications they are taking, tracks the start date, end date, and notes for each user medication relationship. The table relationships are one-to-many. The user can have many symptom logs and many insulin logs. Many-to-many, a user can take multiple medications and each medication can be used by multiple users. This relationship is managed through a user medications join table. Now Xavier will walk you through our front end for this project.
When users first visit Patch, they land on the sign up page where they can create an account by entering their name, age, email, and password. This triggers a post request to API auth register, which creates their user profile in the database. Once logged in, users are brought to the health dashboard, where they can access tools like the symptom log, insulin tracker, and medication tracker. Each section uses a React router for smooth, dynamic navigation without page reloads. The UI is built with Flexbox and character-based design, making it responsive, clean, and accessible. Key data, like frequently log symptoms and insulin levels, is visualized using simple charts, helping users track trends at a glance. Everything is designed to be intuitive, lightweight, and user-centered. Now, let's see what we built. Here's Patch.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chris. I'll be in charge of your checkup today. But first, I want to introduce you to a new system we're using to better assist our patients. We're using an app called Patch, a health monitoring application to track blood sugar and symptoms. So when you come in for a physical checkup, we have a reliable source of information to assist you. Here's a quick overview of how to use it. First, you can create your account here where you'll be prompted for your name, age, email, and password. This is your dashboard. This is where you can monitor your information. Here, you can click on your symptoms dashboard and your blood sugar logs. Looking up here, you can check out symptom logs. On this page, you can add new symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, nausea, fevers, or coughs. You'll be prompted for the pain type and location, as well as the level of the pain in the current moment. Clicking submit will place your log on the side. Clicking over here will send you to the blood sugar tracker where you can register your insulin levels over periods of time, as well as adding additional notes about how you feel if needed. Over here, you can track all the medications you're taking, what dosage, and the days you take them. Returning to the dashboard allows a general overview of all your symptoms and logs of blood sugars, where you can see graphs of our most frequent symptoms and our insulin levels over time. We can also delete any logs if they were inaccurate or logged by mistake. Clicking over here takes you to your profile where you can customize your username and profile picture. And when you're done, you can log out. Hope that made sense. Let's begin your checkup.
Awesome demo, Patch. Thank you so much. I will transition to our Q&A portion. Kick us off by asking every member of this group, what is a feature you made significant contributions to, and what did you learn from it? Start us off, Caleb.
A feature I worked on was making the forms for the sign up, login, and the trackers, so that the user could input any issues or symptoms they're having. And yeah, a really important lesson I learned was communication, because my forms don't work without the back end, of course. And so it's very important that the back end is connected so that the user inputs persist. Say,
Thank you. Chris?
For this project, I led the development of the backend infrastructure that powers Patch's core functionality. So including the symptom logging, insulin tracking, and medication management. I was responsible for designing the relational database schema and ensuring it could scale to support multiple types of health data tied to individual users over time. And one of the most challenging but rewarding parts of my contribution was just getting different tables like user symptom logs and user medications to communicate correctly.
Thank you, Chris. Xavier?
My major contribution was I was in charge of the login and sign up page and update and profile page, making it easier for users to create and update their accounts. My implementations was React.js for implementing the landing page. Users being able to create and make changes to their accounts. And also I handled all medication related API requests, fetching and posting medication data, making it easier for users to maintain and test. And my main takeaways was that communication and teamwork is key. Everyone has to be on the same page and know what they're doing in order for the website to be as expected.
Thank you, Xavier. Nando?
My biggest contribution to this project was the beautiful graphs that you got to see, the line graphs, the bar graphs. For me, I had to do my own self-learning, having to look at and read documentation for chart.js, which is a language that I've never used before, a framework I've never used before. So that was something that I had to be able to internalize and be able to communicate with my own team and have them internalize and just be a good leader as project manager and be able to communicate those new ideas that I was able to learn throughout the 3 weeks developing this project.
Thank you, Nando. That is all for Patch. Please drop love or any questions that you have in the chat. We will transition to the next team, which is Huddle. Huddle, kick us off.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello and welcome. We're Team AXA and we built Huddle, a platform that connects New Yorkers through local events and shared community issues. My name is Xavier Campos, my pronouns are he, him, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but my family is from the Dominican Republic. I'm one of the full stack developers in my team, and my primary focus was on the back end. Next, I'll pass it to Athena.
Thanks, Xavier. Hi, my name is Athena. My pronouns are she, her. I was born and raised in New York City, and I'm the lead front-end developer of this project. And now here's Autumn, our project manager with our mission.
Thanks, Athena. Hi, everyone. My name is Autumn Leiden. My pronouns are she, her. My family is from New York, and I currently live in Staten Island. I was the project manager on this project, and I was also a full stack developer. We built Huddle to bring communities back together in New York City. We felt disconnected from the very blocks we live on, missing the days when neighbors looked out for each other and stayed in the loop. Whether it's a pothole, a safety concern, or a spontaneous block party, there was no simple way to stay informed. Huddle is our answer, a modern-day neighborhood message board designed for real life. Our live map surfaces neighborhood happenings in real time. Spot a broken streetlight, flag it. See something exciting, join in. Then use in-app comments to rally your neighbors and take action together. Our mission is simple: empower every New Yorker to connect around what matters most in their neighborhood. By giving people both the tools and the purpose to act, Huddle helps rebuild the social fabric of the city, one block at a time. Next, I will talk about the technologies we used. We built Huddle using the Pern stack, Postgres, Express, and Node on the back end, and React on the front end. We used bcrypt for password hashing, and we also used Google Maps, Cloudinary, reCAPTCHA, and Google Places. Now, Xavier will walk you through our database design.
Thanks, Autumn. Our backend is built around 4 core tables held with Postgres: users, events, comments, and uppost, with each event containing details like title, description, types, locations, and contacts, all linked to a user. The structure enables an efficient way of retrieval for data by seamlessly connecting users' activities with event data in an organized way. The comments allow users to interact with one another in organized events created by others, and upvotes allow people to see the popularity for each post that was created. Athena will now explain how it comes together on the front end.
Thanks, Xavier. I'll walk you through how we brought the front end to life and made the site feel intuitive and inviting. When a user lands on a home page, we fetch post data from our database and display it as clean, responsive cards. Each one highlights either a local event or a community issue shared by users. Anyone can browse the feed, but if they want to upvote, comment, or view someone's profile, they're prompted to log in. We designed a frosted glass style login and sign up overlay that keeps the homepage visible in the background, so it all feels seamless. Once logged in, users can create new posts, edit or delete their own, and manage their upvotes. We use React Router to guide them through different parts of the app, like their profile, without needing to reload the page. Now I'll pass it to Autumn to show you how that looks like in the demo.
Thanks, Athena. Let's take a look at Huddle in action with our quick demo walkthrough.
Hi, I'm Xavier, and welcome to Huddle. Let's start off our demo by logging onto the application. Within our login page, you can read our mission statement and learn a little about what we stand for and what we strive to achieve. This is our user dashboard. Here we can see all of the events that we have organized and local issues that we have announced to the community. Clicking here allows you to view the city map, where you can see markers of all local events and issues in the city. Clicking any of these markers opens up to provide more details such as the address, organizer, a description of the event, and any comments that other locals have about it. You can also type into the chat to ask any questions or speak to anyone else planning to attend the event and get acquainted with them beforehand. On the side, we have a list of recommended community posts to review, as well as if you would prefer to browse that way. You can filter them by status, type, borough, and even neighborhood, and sort them out by recency and popularity. Let's try to search for some events in East Harlem. Oh, there's a biking meetup at Central. I'm not much of a biker though. There's 2 events on Randall's Island though. Some volunteering and, some outdoor yoga. Yoga at the park is literally one of my favorite activities. Lastly, let's create a new notice for a broken stoplight in my neighborhood. write the location, set the image and information, and boom! All users should now be able to see this post. Down here are the links to the development team. And we can't wait to see you guys in heaven. Hi, I'm Xavier, and welcome.
I will kick us off for our final Q&A portion for our final group in this breakout room. What is a significant contribution that you made for this project, and what did you learn from it? I will kick us off with Autumn.
In my role, I supported both front and back end, but primarily contributed to the back end, setting up most of our back end route logic using express.js to make our endpoints. And then I used connects.js as a SQL query builder to communicate to and from our database. I then tested all of my API endpoints using Postman to make sure they function properly. And then after that, tied together back end to front end. So making sure it flowed back and forth seamlessly. And then from the project, I learned to always test and debug as you go, because the worst thing that you can do is make changes without monitoring your progress and then be left with a ton of errors and bugs in the end.
Athena?
I led the front-end development and was responsible for designing and building user interface that displays post data clearly and interactively. I connected the front end to our back end by fetching post data and rendering it as responsive cards. I also set up page navigation, login overlays, and made sure users can create and edit their own posts. This project helped me see how thoughtful design directly impacts user engagement.
Finally, Xavier.
My main technical contribution was integrating Google Maps and Cloudinary APIs into the front end and making sure that it tied seamlessly into the back end. Cloudinary is a cloud-hosted service that allows you to store image references within our databases for better posting and viewing experiences. Alongside this, once the relevant address informations for post creation, like streets, cities, zip codes, and etc., are parsed and sent into our database, the geocoding API will then transfer those into latitude and longitude values that will then re-render through the map as markers for the Google map that I implemented.
Alrighty.
And I also learned how to really take the time to research and implement things simultaneously, since there was a lot of things that were definitely new to me that I struggled in quite a bit.
Awesome, Huddle. Thank you so much, team. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Almonte. I was born in the Dominican Republic and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My family is also from the Dominican Republic. I'm a full stack developer and my pronouns are she, her. Now I'll pass it over to Braley.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, my name is Braley Guzman. Me and my family are from the Dominican Republic but reside in the Bronx, New York. I'm a full stack developer and UI UX designer, and my pronouns are he, him. Last but not least, here's Rafi.
Thanks, Braley. Hi, I'm Rafi Castillo. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and currently I live in Clifton, New Jersey. My family is also from the Philippines, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I'm the project manager on this team, as well as a full stack developer and designer. And I'm excited to introduce you all to Emerald Chip, a simple community-focused web app that helps New Yorkers recycle their old electronics. Here's the problem. NYC produces over 14 million tons of waste each year, and more than 400,000 tons of that is e-waste, things like laptops, phones, and tablets. Even though it's illegal to toss these into landfills, most people still don't know where to take them. And I get it. Even I've had an old MacBook sitting in my closet for years because I don't know what to do with it. And I knew if I felt like I was stuck, others probably did too. And so we built Emerald Chip. It's a personal tool that makes e-waste recycling feel doable and not overwhelming. With it, you can find nearby tech recycling facilities, be in to know for any upcoming e-waste recycling events, and log your devices like a digital donation journal, and assign a status whether an entry is pending, in transit, or already donated. We focus on helping users take initiative, stay organized, and build better habits around tech waste. And our mission is simple: make recycling more accessible, more consistent, and part of a greener NYC. We developed our application using the print stack. PostgreSQL, Express.js, React, and Node.js, leveraging Connects for efficient SQL query building and seamless schema migrations. This ensures that our database remains consistent and easy to maintain. For hosting images, we use AWS S3, providing reliable and scalable storage to support the app's performance and user experience. Up next is our ERD, designed to support the key features of Emerald Chip. Our database consists of 4 main tables: the users table, which stores all user information and is essential for authentication; the donations table holds all detailed descriptions and information about each donation a user logs; the events table indexes all upcoming e-waste recycling events across New York City; and last but not least is the RSVP table, which serves as a linking table that allows any single user to associate with multiple events. Now I'll hand it over to Anna, who will walk you through the next part of our project and dive into some key features.
Thank you, Rafi. This is our login sign-up pages, where users create an account or log in. When they submit the form, we make post or get requests to our users table, either verifying an existing user or adding a new one to the database. Here we have our user profile modal. Once signed in, a user can click their name on the dashboard to open the modal and update their information. When they submit the form, a patch request is sent to the donations table to update the existing data, all without leaving the dashboard page. Another main feature of our app is the modal system for managing the donation log. From the Donations tab in the sidebar on the dashboard page, users can easily review a list of items they've donated or plan to donate, all without leaving the page. This provides a seamless and efficient user experience. I'll now pass it over to Braley.
Thank you, Anna. This is our dashboard page, the central hub of the application. Users can navigate between core features using the sidebar tabs. The dashboard provides a quick preview of recent donation activity and highlights upcoming e-waste recycling events. Events can be added directly to a personal calendar, helping users stay informed and engaged through a clean, unified interface. Our Events tab mirrors the experience of Google Calendar. Users can preview upcoming e-waste recycling events right from the dashboard and easily add new ones they would like to attend. To view the events they've RSVP'd to, they can head over to the Events tab, which opens a personalized calendar view. Our Facilities tab features an embedded Google map that dynamically updates to display nearby e-waste recycling locations across New York City. Each facility is marked with a pin, helping users easily find services in their area and take action to recycle responsibly.
Gonzalo, are you sharing screen? I think the sound isn't shared.
Gonzalo, just come off mute.
Great. Let's just stick with Jigglypuff for now. Let's save that. Great. Okay, now let's go add my donation. It was my MacBook 2017. That does not work. Okay. Oh, great. Let's add a picture for reference just to keep track. Oof. My MacBook's actually missing a few keys, so let's just see. Okay, perfect. Oof, that sounds like a lot. So let's just keep it in pending because I'm not quite sure where when I want to drop it off at. Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, what's this? Oh, I can see different facilities where I can drop it off. Oh, this looks like so much. I wouldn't know which one to pick first. Okay. Oh, upcoming events. Oh, these are upcoming e-recycle events. Oh, great. This is so much more convenient. Oh, June 1st. Perfect. Let me just RSVP to this one. Seems like it's close by. Let me just make sure that my RSVP went through. Oh, perfect. Oh, great. I have an option to remove it from my calendar just in case something comes up. Oh, what's this? Oh, another event? Oof, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to that one. I have a whole bunch of old tech in my apartment that
Thank you so much for that wonderful demo, Emerald Chip. To start us off in our Q&A, this question goes out to all of you. What was the main contribution that you did in this project?
For my main contribution, I built the donation modal components in React, enabling users to seamlessly add and edit donations directly from the dashboard. I also handled the styling to ensure the modals match the overall UI. These components connect to our PostgreSQL database using connects and SQL with patch and post requests, updating the donations table for a smooth, responsive experience.
Yeah, thank you. One key contribution I made was designing and building the dashboard where users can track their e-waste impact, recent donations, and upcoming events. I use React to create reusable components for a clean modular UI. The data was stored in PostgreSQL, and I use Express with Connects to build the API routes for smooth interaction with the backend. I also integrated AWS S3 to handle and display user-uploaded images. And I'll pass it to Rafi. Thank you.
Thanks, really. As for me, I primarily developed the events tab that you saw and came up with the design language of our app. And so for that, I used Figma for the high fidelity page mockups, React.js for a dynamic and responsive native calendar implementation, and a combination of Express, Connects, and PostgreSQL to make sure that users' interaction with the data in a client will persist in a secure database.
One more question for you. If you had more time, what is a feature that you would like to have been able to build?
I can take over that question. So, if we had more time, we'll implement a facilities account feature so recycling centers can log in, schedule pickups, and update users on what happened to the donated devices, whether it was recycled, reused, or refurbished. That added transparency will build trust and drive more donations to our app. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We have time for just one more question. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question in the chat? All right, with that, friends, we can move on to our next group, Comen Todos.
Hi, my name is Tyrese. I'm originally from Guyana and currently based in Brooklyn. I primarily focused on backend development, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi, everyone. My name is King McLeod. My pronouns are he, him. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and my parents are from the West Indies, Grenada, and Jamaica. And for this project, I served as a full stack developer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joshua Young. My parents are from Trinidad and Tobago. I was born in Baltimore and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My role on this project was the CSS developer.
Hello, my name is Irma Barrios. My pronouns are she, her, and I was born on Staten Island. My parents are from Mexico, and for this project, I was the front-end developer and the project manager. So, comen todos comes from a Spanish phrase that goes, a donde come uno, comen dos, y a donde comen dos, comen todos, which basically means where one eats, everyone eats. During these tough economic times that we know that we all are going through, about 50% of New York City households are struggling to even make ends meet. This is affecting everyone from our elders to our youngest humans. 1 in every 4 children don't even know where their next meal is coming from. Letting these insecurities grow harms all of us at the end of the day. So we created Comen Todos to help fight against the stigma of asking for help and to give the community a bit more power when it comes to fighting food insecurity. In these times where time is money, we hope to save folks some time and give them as much information that we can all in one spot.
Typically, any full stack application is built on core technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Node.js. However, Comentoros incorporates a few additional tools and libraries. On the front end, we use React, Tailwind CSS, and Leaflet for map functionality. On the back end, we work with Express, Connects, PostgreSQL, and bcrypt for secure password hashing.
We structured our database using these 8 tables to manage users, food banks, and community interactions. The user table stores all account information, including the flag is food bank to identify food bank users. The food banks table links the users to make sure that they store the name, address, borough type, and contact details for that specific food bank. User posts and food bank posts stores the posts created by users and all the information about their updates and announcements. The user's reviews stores the user food banks about food bank IDs, and the user food bank post likes tracks the food bank likes across the entire application. The comments store the comments made on each post, and the food bank locations powers our map using locations, hours, and contact information for the food banks. Each table connects through primary and foreign keys using IDs across the application to track posts, reviews, likes, and comments. And the food bank's user ID links a food bank to its account. Through express.js, users can create accounts, post reviews and comments, read food bank listings and posts, update profiles and content, and delete posts or comments. This schema allows us to support user interaction, highlight food banks, and keep everything organized and scalable. And this ERD also connects users, support food banks, and enable meaningful community interaction all in one platform. Now I'll be passing it to Irma to talk about our front end.
So one of the main pages of our application is actually the search page, which fetches food banks from the database and renders each food bank on the map, which is all made possible using Leaflet. When we click the name of the food bank itself, we navigate to the user of the food bank details page. We navigate the user to the food bank details page, where they are able to see more details about that particular food bank. This is all powered by React Router. Hi, hello, greetings. Welcome to Comen Todos, a platform designed to inform and assist anyone living in New York City that are in need of food or other basic provisions for their specific needs. Our website focuses on encouraging community building to ensure that people using the application feel at ease knowing that it's other locals that experience and understand their needs that they interact with. We provide quick and transparent access to local food banks in all 5 boroughs. With just a quick search, users can locate local food banks available to them. Whenever a user visits a food bank, they can go back to our application to leave reviews of their experience, as well as inform others what types of provisions that this food bank provides. We encourage our users to leave crucial details about the types of provisions provided by each food bank, whether they are more aligned towards families or individuals, if the workers are respectful, caring, and non-discriminatory towards certain demographics, and if the food bank provides additional support and programs for those who might need them. When a user finds a food bank that they like, they can add that food bank to their favorite list, which they can always refer back to later. Each bank listing comes with their hours of operation and number to contact the banks directly to assure that your trip is seamless. Always feel free to check out our About Us page to get more insights on the problem that we're trying to alleviate and the amazing development team behind this project. And remember, where one eats, everyone eats. Hi, hello.
Wow, thank you so much, Comentados. Again, I would like to start off this question, this Q&A with the same question as before. What was everyone's main contribution to the project?
My main contribution was creating the models, controllers, routes, and endpoints to enable and ensure smooth data storage and retrieval from the database.
My main contribution was building the database schema to ensure officially stored and making sure our data was officially stored and persist across the application.
As the CSS developer for this project, I implemented cohesive and accessible designs based off soft welcoming colors, palettes to enhance the usability and maintain visual consistency across the sign up, the login page, the review page, and so on.
My main contribution is it was actually really hard to find data about food banks in New York City. So I created an API that has all of the food bank data of a bunch of food banks throughout all 5 boroughs. And using that food bank data, I was able to use that information for our map and our search features.
So for the next question, if you had more time, what would you like to add?
I can answer this one. I think as a group, we would all have loved to add a feature that would help translate the page to different languages so we can actually have more variety of who is able to use our website. And it would be, yeah, so sorry. We would also have liked to add a one-on-one chat feature in case there was something that someone had that someone else needed. Users would be able to interact with one another through that. And we would have also liked to add directions page to the food bank information so people could put in their location and it can get straight directions to where they need to go.
Awesome. We have just enough time to get a question from the group. It looked like there's a ton of data for food banks. What was the process like for finding data or unloading it into your database?
I can answer this question. So for unloading the data into our database, what I did was I used the API that Irma created, and I created a function to dynamically retrieve the information and extract it from the API, and then put it into our database using connects to export it up and down throughout the database and retrieve it on the front end of the application.
Thank you so much for that, King. And thank you so much, Comentodos. Incredible application. Please continue dropping the love. We're seeing so many beautiful comments from everyone. And with that, I want to bring us to our next group, Mindful Motion.
Hi, my name is Ajane Christian. My pronouns are he, him. My family and I are born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I am a full stack developer.
Hi, my name is Taran Odame. I was born and raised in the Bronx. My parents are from Ghana, and I was a full stack developer in this project, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi everyone, my name is Catalina Donoso and my pronouns are she, her. I'm from Queens, New York, and my family is from the Philippines. For this project, I was a project manager and Scrum Master, while also being a back-end focused full stack developer. I'm excited to introduce you to our platform. Mindful Motion is a web application focused on providing users, especially youth, an alternative to unproductive social media usage. Considering how existing social media platforms retain users through dopamine-induced positive feedback loops and instant satisfaction, we intended to create an application allowing users to experience positive feedback, not solely through accessing and creating posts, but also through the ability to participate in project-based challenges. We temporarily slowed satisfaction to shift our focus to the beneficial feelings of self-accomplishment and inclusion, allowing users to share their experiences in each challenge's community space, where they can create posts. Next, Ajane will discuss the technologies we use to build this project.
For the front end, we use React and JavaScript to create user-facing parts of the website. We use CSS and Chakra UI for the design. For the back end, we use Express, Postgres SQL, and Table Plus to access and update the database. We also use Cloudinary to manage image uploads. Passing on to Ty.
Thank you. Now, this is the entity relationship diagram of our database. When a user creates an account, they provide their name, birthday, username, and email. They are assigned a unique ID and are able to change their usernames and profile pictures on their profile page. Users are able to create and join challenges. When a user decides to participate in a challenge, they are able to create posts describing their experiences with the challenge and comment on each other's posts. Now I'll pass it off to Catalina to describe the front end.
One of the main pages of our application is the login page, linked in the home page. When a user chooses to log in, their inputted username and password is verified against the stored username and hash password of the database. We clearly outline the forms and text boxes to establish separation from other elements on the page. We chose a blue theme to evoke calming emotions, given that this application is designed to be growth-focused and inclusive of different interests. On the next slide is our challenges page. The challenges page, another of the main pages of our application, fetches challenges from the database and renders each challenge in a grid on the page. Clicking on the challenge navigates the user to the challenge details page, where they can see more details about that particular challenge, join the challenge, and make a post about their experiences with the challenge. React Router makes all of this possible. Now, let's see what we built in our demo walkthrough video.
Hi, my name is Arjun Christian, and I've stumbled upon a page that says they can help my productivity by joining challenges instead of scrolling. They have a login page and a sign up. So let's log in. We'll do Skippy, and we'll do a simple password. I already joined challenges earlier. They have an edit bio here. And then here's the challenges page. Pretty cool. Yeah, I can create a challenge if I want. Let's open up a challenge. Wow. Some people already made some posts. Let's make a comment. Hey. And I'll delete that one. I can also create a post if I want it. And that's our page. Thank you.
All right. And with that, thank you so much. Um, our first question is always, what was your main individual contribution to this project?
I'll go first. One of my major features I contributed to was the detail page in the post system where users can view the details of challenges, create posts under a challenge, and leave comments. I worked on the React components, fetching logic, and API integration, and also user context to make sure only certain things were available to the user that is signed in.
I can go next. I a feature that I made a significant contribution to would have to be to create a challenge page. I use React, which allowed me to create the form and structure the format. I also used Express, which I used to create the server routes and middleware for the form information to be sent over to its respective controllers. And then from there, I used Connect to create the SQL queries for the static functions within the challenge models to send the information into our database.
For Mindful Motion, I made significant contributions to the ERDN models, which I seeded. Considering existing social media applications for reference, I determined an appropriate user flow, outlined in our Figma file, and ensured all models contained references to the data necessary for functionality. Given the direct relationship between challenges and their posts, each post contained the foreign ID of its correspondent challenge, allowing for organization and modular design. I also used JavaScript and React to draft our early stage post component.
Thank you. Another question that I have here is, what was something non-technical you learned from building this project and working with your team?
I can answer this. Something non-technical I learned through this project was the importance of clear and direct communication. As a project manager, I recognized sharp improvements in my team's workflow after I improved the specificity of tasks listed in our Scrum board, and after we committed to completing tasks by the deadlines we had decided.
Awesome. And if you had more time to work on this project, what would be something that you would want to add?
I would improve the user experience through providing posts their own individual pages, allowing users to access their posts directly through their profile and linking the corresponding challenges to each post page. Having these clear relationships would allow users to navigate more easily between their profile and contributions.
And we have just enough time for one more question. Does anybody in the chat would like to add a question that we would like to ask this team? All right, going once, going twice. And I think that's it for this incredible team. Thank you so much for your demo, your answers to your questions. And we will be moving on to our last group today, and that is going to be Green Quest.
Hi, how are you, everyone? My name is Felipe Garcia. I was born and raised in Colombia. I go by the pronouns he, him, and I'm a full stack developer for GreenQuest.
Hey, my name is Michael, and my pronouns are he, him. I was born in Manhattan, New York, and raised in Washington State. Although my family roots are Polish and West Indian, my role on Ada Astro was a full stack software developer.
Hello, my name is Ibrahim Hudson. I am a full stack. I, I'm a full stack developer for this team and the project manager. I'm originally from Raleigh, North Carolina, and my family is from Rochester, New York, and Chicago, Illinois. Our team Ad Astra is derived from the Latin saying Ad Astra per aspera, which means through hardship to the stars. And it is my pleasure to introduce GreenQuest, a community-based eco-friendly habit tracker where users can complete challenges and interact with others to reconnect our generation to the planet we inhabit. As a first step to solving a problem is to care. I'd like to pass it back to Michael to show us some of our technologies used.
So here's a general overview of our tech stack used throughout the project build. In particular, the PERN stack, which stands for Postgres, Express, React, and Node. Also, I want to note the integration of AI tools in this project to work with modern technologies, specifically Gemini and Olama. Now I would like to pass it on to my teammate Felipe to break down how we designed the database.
To build GreenQuest, we created 5 tables to store our data. Our first table is users, which is tied to sign up, login, and account management. Users are able to complete eco-friendly challenges that are added to daily and community challenges table. We use completed challenges table to disable completed challenges for users associated with the completed challenge. When a user completes a challenge, that user increases their current experience, and we perform a check to our levels table to see if that user meets the experience requirement for the next level. And post table, which we use to store posts created by a user. And I would now like to pass it to my teammate, Ibrahim.
Okay, I will be walking you through some of our pages. Here you see our landing page and sign up/login page where users can get an introduction to what we do, our mission, and how they can get started interacting with our page. On the next slide is the user experience and the community challenge hub. On the left, you have the user challenge hub, which holds your information about your level and your account, as well as your daily challenges. On your right, you see the community challenge hub, where users can create challenges and interact with others. And here's the community feed. This is where users post challenge reactions and interact with others in their community, leaving posts and comments on a number of different challenges. My name is Ibrahim Hudson, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to GreenQuest, a community-based, eco-friendly habit tracker where users can create challenges and compete in challenges and converse with their friends. So here on our landing page, you're welcome with a few things. Our mission, how can you be part of the GreenQuest community, and the developers that show up to make this app possible. Navigating to the scene page, you'll be welcome with our 3.js scene. And then let's say we want to log in. So let's log into CoolCat. We then log in and we're greeted with our user page. Here you'll see a few things. Our level and your daily challenge journal with the challenges that you can complete. Navigating over to the community challenge page is where you see the challenges created by users just like yourself. So let's water 5 trees. That challenge is updated and added to the database where we can then complete these challenges. But let's say we have a challenge that isn't so great, like plant a tree in your local community. Well-intentioned, this challenge doesn't explicitly offer the most correct solution. So now you're greeted with an explanation of why your challenge doesn't work and a prompt to make you try again. Navigating over to the feed page, we can see all the successful challenges generated by different users, which then we can leave a comment on. Hey, I really like your challenge. When I make this post, now everybody can see it, and I can edit and delete posts. But don't worry, this is only for you. Nobody else can delete or edit your post. So let's delete it for now. Navigate to another challenge. Here you'll see posts made by other users. Hi, IT guy. You see that they left a post there on the cleanup challenge. Pick up 10 pieces of litter during a walk. So those are the core features of GreenQuest, and I hope you'll have fun enjoying our app.
Thank you so much, Green Quest. So to get us started, as always, what were your main contributions to this project?
Okay, thank you, Gonzalo. My main contribution to this project was the community and daily challenges. It uses Gemini AI to make sure that every challenge is validated and processed to ensure that everybody's challenge that they create sticks to our general mission and make sure there's no malicious or a malicious intent. Then for the daily challenges, those are rendered randomly throughout the weeks, throughout the days, and every day you get a new challenge to ensure that users always have something to complete.
My main contributions were the 3JS and the leveling system. I ran the migrations for the leveling system. I did the models, the controllers, and the front-end components using React.
My main contributions were implementing the posting system and connecting that with the back end.
What was the challenge that you faced while working on this project, and how did you overcome it?
One of the biggest challenges we faced was scope. All three of us have amazing ideas, and we all care a lot about this topic, whether that's through hiking, playing soccer, or art. So with that, we all had very grand ideas that are great, but we had to make sure that the promises that we made to you guys and to our users was what we can do within the time allotted.
Thank you for that, Ibrahim. I have one question over here from the audience. How did you make sure that the challenges were relevant with AI?
So recently I completed a prompt engineering course through Cognizant, and I used the learnings from there to ensure that every prompt that we use was making sure that challenges were relevant. And that's what that process looks like for the daily challenges. Now for the community challenges, it's a different prompt where we make sure that every user is making sure that these challenges can be completed and that they are not malicious. So similar to the demo where someone put in a great challenge but couldn't be completed due to permits, etc. We wanted to make sure that everything would fall in lines with our guides, which was helped empowered by AI.
Thanks for that, Ibrahim. I have another question here from the audience. How did you ensure that only the post owners can edit their post? What happens if someone tries to edit a post that they don't own?
I'd like to pass that to Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. So what we did is we used the React context to ensure that only the logged in user can edit or delete the post. As you saw in the demo, a post by another user, the edit and delete buttons weren't shown for him. So only users that are logged in will see the edit and delete posts and are able to do those changes.
Interesting. And one last question. If there was more time, what's a feature that you really would have liked to build?
One feature we would really like to include are bigger community challenges for companies and nonprofits in our area to post challenges. For example, complete 10,000 challenges, which will require every user to complete a numerous amount of challenges to reach that goal.
Welcome back, everyone. First of all, just a huge, huge virtual round of applause for this incredible group of engineers. To our Hanat cohort, you truly blow us away. And we are so, so excited to see you soar to even greater heights in the future.
I want to take a quick moment to thank some of the people who made today possible. One, our fall fellowship team, our lead instructors, our program managers. We want to thank you for all the work that you did to support our fellows through this entire year. To our many supporters, we're proud to be able to provide this academic experience to our fellows tuition free. And it's thanks to the people on this screen and many, many more. And lastly, thank you for this entire community comprised of everybody who's in this room today. As you all know, community is such an important core value of Marcy's. And we wouldn't feel right without being able to send our fellows into their last quarter without a whole lot of love and support for these demo day projects. And so next up for our Hanat cohort is Capstone. It is the final quarter of our software engineering fellowship, and it's where they learn advanced technical skills, build independent projects, and deepen their expertise as engineers. And it's also our opportunity to experiment. We're really excited to be building a cutting edge school in the midst of so much change. As many of you all know, AI is changing the way that people build products and write software. And our view is our fellows being grounded in the fundamentals and having a mastery of the underlying tools are going to allow them to go even further when they are able to leverage AI as their co-pilot and assistant. And that's going to be one of the core themes of their capstone experience. So we invite you to join us on campus. Thursday, August 7th is going to be our kind of final showcase before their graduation. It's our capstone science fair, and it's going to be your opportunity to engage with our fellows right before they go off into their careers and their career search. So be on the lookout for an invitation and a registration link in June. And more than anything, we just want to say thank you again for all of the support, all the family members here who trusted us with your young people. And again, everybody who came out to support today, thank you. We hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone.